Hey, welcome back to the channel, and we are back with another weekly wears video where I go over every single fragrance that I wore all 7 days last week. So if that is content that you think you want to see more of, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on bell notifications so you are updated whenever I upload something new. Without further ado, let's jump right into the list, starting with Sunday. But before I do that, you subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. We are on the road to 13,000 subscribers. And as soon as we hit that 13K, I will be doing another giveaway, most likely with a fragrance that I'm going to be talking about today. So I reached for this one. It was my father-in-law's birthday. We went to his place and celebrated. And this is one that I actually found at a rack store, one of my rack store hauls recently. Was able to grab this one from a Burlington at a great price. Scent I am talking about is Spice Bomb from Viktor and Rolf. This is the original Spice Bomb. The Extreme gets a lot of love. The OG, not so much, but this one is fantastic. Warm, sweet, and spicy cinnamon tobacco notes. It's very familiar. It's going to remind you of something like the Extreme version. However, I think this one is far more refined than the Extreme. This is just more versatile. Also, this one has really sneaky performance. I know some people complain about the longevity here. My experience, it has enormous sillage, fantastic, above average sillage. So as you're walking by someone, they're going to catch a whiff of you. They're going to think you smell fantastic. Amazing sillage. And even when I can't smell it, I'll still get a compliment on it. Someone will ask me what I'm wearing. So once I kind of go nose blind to it, it's still there. So keep that in mind when you are wearing this one. I would say that this is arguably better than the Extreme version. And I kind of go back and forth with my favorite from this line. Infrared is another favorite of mine. There's just something about the OG here, since I've added it to the collection, that I look at it and want to wear it. I kind of want to keep going back to it. Incredible fragrance, Spice Bomb, OG from Viktor and Rolf. On Monday, I was going to be home working in my office the majority of the day. So I just wanted something that I enjoy smelling on myself. Scent I'm talking about is Friday Edition from El Ganzo. And this scent was mailed to me, gifted to me by a friend, a highly respected member of the fragrance community, Venba Fragrance. Shout out to Bilbo. Great atomizer on here. This reminds me of an anise cookie, an anisette cookie, Italian anise cookie that I grew up eating as a kid. It creates this beautiful scent bubble around you. It has this vanilla licorice vibe. It's a little bit powdery and sort of cakey. It's going to remind you of fragrances like Salvatore Ferragamo's Uomo. It doesn't smell exactly like that scent, but the way it sort of delivers the notes and walks that line of gourmand and also very wearable and fresh, this does that beautifully. So if you're a fan of that scent, of the Uomo line, you are probably going to love this one. It's pretty inexpensive right now on Jomashop. I think you can get a gift set for like $35. I mean, this is worth more than that. This performs like a beast, projects really nicely, lasts all day long. Incredible fragrance, great for cooler weather and even warmer weather. I love this stuff. I am so happy he sent this to me. I had never heard this talked about prior to him sending it my way. And this bottle there's maybe only like a third of the bottle left. This is one I would easily re-up on, assuming it's really easy to get. Incredible fragrance, Friday Edition from El Ganzo. My Tuesday fragrance was one of the biggest surprises that I was lucky enough to stumble upon in one of my rack store pickups. And so happy I grabbed this one because this one blew me away. I love it. Scent we are talking about is Coach Green. And I would say that this scent is going to remind you of things like Lunar Rosa Carbon and Sauvage. However, as much of it is as it is a combination of those fragrances, it has this really unique twist up top. It has this fruity kiwi note that is juicy, it's authentic smelling, and it adds this dynamic that I wasn't expecting. I love it. I've never been the biggest fan of Sauvage. It's a likable fragrance. Obviously, a ton of people wear it, but I never felt like it really made me stand out, or I just kind of felt like I smelled like everyone else. This one is a more tame version of Sauvage. It's more reined in. It's more interesting. in my opinion, because of that kiwi. And it really changes the DNA of the scent, makes it super dynamic, has some depth to it. I appreciate this fragrance quite a bit. I would say its biggest drawback is that it's just roughly probably an average performer in both uh, longevity and projection, but it smells clean. It's really likable, mass pleasing. You're probably going to get compliments from this. Super easy to grab, smells of high quality. It's head to head for me with my favorite from the line with Platinum. Platinum is an amazing scent from Coach. And it's head to head with that one. I kind of go back and forth with which one I like more. But right now I'm liking green more, especially coming into the spring season. This is going to be a must try, maybe a must own for some of you guys. Coach Green, incredible scent. On Wednesday, I wore a fragrance that I just recently did a video on, sort of a first impressions comparison video with the OG fragrance that this is cloning. Scent we are talking about is Jack of Clubs from Fragrance World. Now, I like this scent. And if you guys haven't seen that video, be sure to go check it out. This is incredible atomizer, by the way. This is cloning YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electrique. It has that spicy, clean, aromatic lavender, a little bit of vanilla. It's woody, very clean smelling, soapy clean. Does it compare to Blue Electrique? Yes. What it doesn't have, and this is only really recognizable when you are testing these side by side. So if I mean, in this instance, I had one on each hand. I definitely don't pick up that YSL DNA, so to speak. And especially in Blue Electrique, it has a subtle resemblance to L'Homme. And if you're a fan of L'Homme, you will probably love Blue Electrique because some of the woodiness and the muskiness that I get from L'Homme, some of those cleaner notes come across in Blue Electrique. You can tell they are in the same family of fragrances. Much like the Blue Electrique, this also has this really addictive, comforting warmth to that lavender, to that cleanness, which I absolutely love, that sort of juxtaposition of those two things. Clean, warm, and spicy, lavender, aromatic, incredible. Also, as a standalone fragrance, this is one of the best Middle Eastern fragrances that I've tried for the money. You can get this between 25 and 35 bucks, well worth that price. Now, what was a little underwhelming for me was the performance. Now, I know that maceration is a very real thing, especially as it pertains to Middle Eastern fragrances. Some of the Middle Eastern fragrances that I've tried over the past year or 2 years have gotten better with age. They just have. So I know some people argue whether maceration is a real thing or not. That's fine. You don't have to believe that maceration is a real thing. You're going to go with your nose and what you experience. But in my experience, maceration is a very real thing, and it seems to really affect the Middle Eastern fragrances. So in terms of overall performance, I'm hoping this one gets a little better because what I was kind of sold was that, not sold, but a lot of you guys mentioned that this has better performance. You're just going to buy this one. It's not my experience, at least with a new bottle. The Blue Electrique outperformed this one in terms of longevity. It jumped off my skin a little more, but let's see how that changes. Again, maceration might fix that. But overall, fantastic scent for what you're getting here, especially for what you're paying. Jack of Clubs from Fragrance World. On Thursday, I went with a fragrance that, in my opinion, every guy needs to get his nose on. Absolutely incredible fragrance. It is transportive. It is nostalgic for me. And I have a scent memory tied to this one. Scent we are talking about is Chanel's Platinum Egoist. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys right now own this already, and you would agree. This is pound for pound the best barbershop type fragrance money can buy, hands down. Great atomizer. You're getting that Chanel quality. It's metallic. It's really aromatic and clean. It has this sort of ferniness to it, like fresh cut grass. Guys, this stuff is absolutely amazing. It reminds me of like fresh shaving foam, a fresh shave. It reminds me of my grandfather. I used to watch him shave as a kid. He shaved every day. He was kind of an old school guy, always had a clean shaved look. And it reminds me of him. I don't think he ever wore this fragrance because this scent came out in 1993. So, but it will remind you of that shave foam that I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced growing up. Your dad, an uncle, grandfather in my case, that wore something similar. Now, with that being said, I would say this is a very masculine fragrance overall. It deserves to be in every collection. Let's just come out and say it. I would recommend this every single time to a guy that just wants to smell sort of classic, timeless. This is a scent that was released in 1993, does not smell dated. Classic, timeless. You can never go wrong with Chanel's Platinum Egoist. On Friday, I reached for the fragrance that I picked up in my most recent rack store haul. So if you've not seen that video, be sure to go check it out. Scent we are talking about is Unwind from Tumi. And I have been super impressed with this house. Tumi has been amazing. This scent, no exception. And this is, as I said in that video, I would kind of put this at the bottom of the Tumi tier list. But wow, see, even right now in the air, it's smelling like it's amazing. It has this fruity, creamy, woody sandalwood vibe. It's a little sour, but I like that about this scent. I let my wife smell it after I sprayed it, and immediately she said that smells like Santal 33, which is a fragrance she bought for me. She thought it smelled exact. So I came in, grabbed my Santal 33, put it on the other hand. I went back and forth. I can definitely see the comparisons. I mentioned it in that video that I didn't say it smelled like Santal 33, but that vibe it gave off at the start reminded me of it slightly. She thought it was indistinguishable smelling them side by side. The only thing that made the Santal 33 stand out a little bit more was a little bit higher of a quality, and it was a little bit more herbal, a little bit more natural smelling. I would say that the biggest difference between the two for me is that this has more of a mass appealing feel to it. I definitely pick up more of the ambroxan, and it smells like more of a designer type fragrance as opposed to a niche fragrance. I really like that about this one. As it dries down, you get a little bit more of that mass appealing feel, and it becomes this really likable, musky, woody sandalwood fragrance that I absolutely love. And I would love to give this bottle away. As soon as we hit 13,000 subscribers, I'm going to give a bottle of Unwind from Tumi away. This is an incredible fragrance, and I know you guys would love to have it in the collection. So definitely. Oh, in terms of performance, I got all day. It sat close to the skin, but it was still there. It was still kind of going right up against Santal 33. However, Santal 33 projects much better than this scent, but this lingers. If you sprayed a little heavier and on clothes, you could definitely get a full day's wear out of this one. It is an eau de parfum concentration and a fantastic fragrance. Unwind from Tumi. Finally, on Saturday, I reached for a fragrance that is always comforting for me, that I always find myself going back to. The scent we were talking about is Prada Lunar Rosa Black. Is this one discontinued? Is it not? I don't know. I don't think it's as easy to get anymore as it used to be, which is a shame because this is the best in the line without question. Nice atomizer, smells incredible, peppery amber, this vanilla sort of cola type vibe, sweetness. It's a little bit powdery. Actually, it's kind of a lot powdery, I would say. For most of the fragrances that I have in my collection that I would classify as powdery, this might be sort of at the top as one of the more powdery fragrances overall. So keep that in mind for those who really can't stand powdery fragrance. But with that being said, I love it. It's like this powdery vanilla. Incredible. Just underneath those warmer ambery notes, the vanillic notes, you have this quiet aromatic freshness, which I think makes the scent. It adds this nice balance to it, but it is so subtle. Everything is kind of subtle with this one. Sillage is really nice. This is not going to fill a room. However, I wore this when my second daughter was born. And I remember spraying my hoodie. At the time, I was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, and I slept overnight, and I had my hoodie on a hanger in the closet that they put in the room. And the next morning, I opened the closet, and I got just this whiff of Prada Lunar Rosa Black. So it stuck around on my clothes for sure for a few days. And I probably sprayed a little bit heavy, probably too heavy for someone who was going to see his wife give birth. But That's neither here nor there. That's how much I love this stuff. Really, in my opinion, a true masterpiece. It smells unique to this day, different than anything else I own. And it's a designer fragrance. Why'd you get rid of this, Prada? Please tell me. You owe it to us. Why is this no longer made? Why was this discontinued? I'd love to know what you guys think of this one too. This is one of my favorites, top 10 easily. Prada Lunar Rosa Black. That's all I have today, guys. As always, I would love to know what your weekly rotation was. I always love hearing what you guys are wearing. Drop it in the comment section down below. But if you like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.